Go.
Oh, hello. Top of the morning.
Yalla.
Top of the morning. Yalla, yalla. What's
Oh, my
happening?
head's pretty big in there. Okay. Morning minutes.
Good
Let's
morning,
do
Mr.
this.
Bergio.
Millionaire talk. G'day,
Yeah.
David on Insta. Okay. Just waiting for Facey to join. There it is. We're good.
This is actually my favorite. I haven't been more excited for an episodic Facebook and Instagram thing than today. Today is for me. This is like the best. Okay, Juan, what are we doing?
Action. Welcome to morning. Sorry for that. Welcome to Morning Minutes with myself, Michael Bergio, co-host Mark Novak, and as Mark just said before, we're talking about his favorite topic. This is what gets him out of bed every morning.
I can't think of anything better. You know what? It's a sickness. I can't think of anything better than today's topic in my life to talk about, besides my family, of course. But come business.
But even then, this is close to that, isn't it? Like you've got Lisa and the family, and this topic, it's pretty close.
Yeah, this is close to playing with my kids. But business-wise, hobby-wise, let's talk about it. What are we talking about?
Capital growth.
Fucking
capital growth.
Big nerds. So this is an interactive episode today where anybody in New South Wales that's watching, you can nominate the suburb, and we're going to tell you factually how the suburbs performed in the last 10 years, which should give you a bit of a hunch on how it's going to perform the next 10 years. And the great thing about what we're doing is it's solid information. We're giving you the data off RP data. And the way we're getting that data is it sweeps all of the sales in the suburbs every week, every day, every hour, every month, every year. It sweeps the sales data, gives us a median, gives us an average. So it's pretty unbelievable. And I guess the fundamental reason, the biggest investment for Australians make in Australia is in property. So if that property is going up, how much it's gone up, or even sometimes down, it's important.
Yes. Now I want to bring something. I'm just trying to log into LinkedIn here. Do you want to just keep going, Mark?
G'day, Courtney. G'day, David. Okay, so I'm going to start off, I'm going to ask people to nominate some suburbs for me, and I'm going to give you capital growth. The only thing I do ask for is the suburb that you nominate, make sure there's enough sales to give us some really good quality data.
All right, Mark, I can do it now. I got it
good.
Our fourth device to make this work.
So to give you an idea, like a suburb like Parramatta or DY or
let's do DY.
I think they got lots of sales in those suburbs, so then it's actually quite easy to give you a good history. So let's start off what's under our nose. DY.
Okay, DY median value 822,000, and it's up 79.4% in the last 10 years. Where if anyone can see that, I'll do Insta first, guys. You can see that there.
Whoa,
then let me bring up Facebook.
So why does the graph go down in the end?
No, it went down in the last year and now it's back up. It's probably a bit small for you to see the growth. Let me bring it up. Wait.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
there it is.
Yeah, great. Okay. So is that units?
Yeah, that's for units. Let me get that.
Okay. So just to put that into perspective, guys and girls, and again, we're inviting people live to nominate their suburb that they're interested in or where they live. We're going to tell you how it performed the last 10 years. So if you gave me $1 million 10 years ago, if you gave me 500,000, $1 million, let's say $1 million. If you gave me $1 million 10 years ago and said, buy any unit in DY, what was that number again, Michael, for the 10 years, how it's performed in 10 years?
10 years was 74%.
Okay, so you gave me $1 million. I bought any unit in DY, and you sold it today. I would give you back your $1 million. Now that's a good start. I would give you back your $1 million, plus I would give you $740,000 on top of that.
Yeah, and I just love
that's massive.
And this is massive. Like this comes back to what we said yesterday, guys. There are no bad buys. The only bad buy is not buying. Now this is I reckon this is a perfect example.
This is the ultimate test.
Yeah, Amal just gave us Mount Druitt. Now,
okay,
Now, typically, you would say that may not be one of the most. So let's go 5-10 years ago. It was a very probably undeveloped area, very up and coming. Maybe not someone's first pick. So let's just not writing it off.
We're in Northern Beaches, suburb of Sydney.
Yes.
We're surfies, right? We've got the surf, we've got the city.
Yeah.
When someone says Mount Druitt to us, you can't help to be a bit of a snob because you got the beautiful beaches there. Now, from a Northern Beaches person, I would say DY, yep, 74%, because we got the beach, because we got the city, because it's the Northern Beaches. So you gave me $1 million in a year ago, 10 years ago. I'll give you your $1 million back, and I'll give you $740K on top. That's 74%.
Yep.
Tell me about Mount Druitt.
Mount Druitt is 89.3%. Can you for something like where if you were trying 10 years ago looking to buy and units and you bought in Mount Druitt.
Mount Druitt's mostly houses.
Yep, so there's there. Right. Okay, let's check houses.
Mostly houses.
93%, even more.
How many sales?
That is number of sales 75
per year. Not bad. Not a bad average.
Yeah.
Okay.
So guys, that just shows that it doesn't matter where you buy. If you you're going to make money. So
okay. I just want to break it down for people that aren't good with their percentages, right? For anyone who's not good with your percentages, if you gave me $1 million and I bought any house on average in Mount Druitt, I would return back to you
$930,000.
Right.
Even if you bought the worst house 10 years ago.
Okay.
On average.
So $1 million you'll get back and $930K on top of the $1 million. I want another suburb. This is awesome.
Okay. Any suburbs? Andrew, do you know any suburbs in New South Wales? Andrew, by the way, I want to touch on what you've done. I want to go through that. Just quickly, Andrew. Yeah, so Andrew's going, talking to us about some online, some redirect marketing websites. Now, obviously, Mark, we can be sometimes a little difficult to get a hold of, and for a long period, because he's mindful of we're in and out of appointments. So what he did a video presentation. He's recorded it and then sent us a link, basically saying, "I know you guys are busy. It can be hard to catch you. Here's the video presentation of what I want to get across." And I'm halfway through it this morning, Andrew, and I was just like, man, that's just out the box thinking. The amount of times, even for us as agents, when we can't necessarily get in front of the client or just they've got stuff going on, just to think of something outside the box. I love that. Thank you.
Clever. Who wants to be a millionaire?
Who wants to be a millionaire?
Tell us your suburb. Okay, I'm going to pick, and guys, this is anyone who's watching, you can pick a suburb. We're going to give you the data on it. But I'm going to pick an area that I think's done bad. Oatley. Western suburbs. Where is that? Full of houses. So we need the house data, not the unit data on the suburb.
Not bad. So 92 sales. And the growth is 81.6% per house.
That's evil.
Monster.
That is evil. Okay, $1 million you gave me 10 years ago. I'm going to give you, we buy it. I sell it today. On average, I give you your $1 million back plus how much?
$810,000.
That's incredible.
Okay, we've got another one from Andrew French's Forest.
Look, French's Forest is a great one because there's so many house sales up there. So we're going to get a really good median average.
77% for houses.
Give me $1 million 10 years ago. I'll give it back to you when we sold it yesterday, and $770K on top of that. Man,
powerful stuff,
It's powerful because you know what? The great thing is with property is if you've lived in it, that's tax free.
Yeah.
Now, you tell me who can afford $1 million mortgage, because whoever that person is, if you can afford $1 million property to buy 10 years ago, you would have made clear $700,000. Now,
what's Sydney? Well,
as Australians or as Sydney people, we think that's okay. We think that's normal. If you told somebody that in America, if you told somebody that in any country of the world, they would just go, oof, no. And we've done that for 50 years.
Yeah. Look at this. Sydney itself for units up 97%. 200 Sydney City. Houses there aren't any, basically it says. But I'm just waiting for it to focus back in.
Again, give me $1 million. I buy you a unit in the city of Sydney, and I'll give you your $1 million back, and I'll give you 900 and what?
910,000.
Wow. Tax free.
Okay,
if you lived in a...
guys, now I want to show you something where I looked at this on LinkedIn. Mac, why do people have Samsung? I don't know how to use it. LinkedIn. Now, basically, it's an article saying this is the quickest bounce back in history for property prices to recover. Now, I'll attach the link to the article, and it basically says by April this year, we would have recovered since our peak in 2017. That will be a 10-month recovery. It's the fastest recovery in property history ever. 10 months to bounce back from the peak to 10 to 15% drop to back to normal. And I think that's huge. To go to that, back on the story of the capital growth moving forward. Let me find this.
So I reckon if I'm having a punt, I'd say it would have been 24 months of getting us going down and 10 months for it to get back to where it was. Pretty incredible. Pretty bloody incredible.
So it's in April this year, guys. Watch out for it. April this year, we will be back to the peak we were. So
back in black.
Oh, Bliss Bowls is watching us on Insta. G'day, guys.
Back
Great coffee salads across the road. At DY, they went into a new building that we had sold a lot of the plan. Great posse there. You can park on the back of Ramble Road.
If you want to eat well, go to Bliss Bowls DY. Now, give me some other suburbs, guys. Anyone who's watching, give me a suburb that you love or suburb that you hate or suburb in between. We will tell you how it's gone. Hey, let's pick...
your audio's gone to shit, Mark. Have you done something different? It's really echoing that. Okay.
No, sorry, dude. Okay, let's pick... is it still bad?
Yeah. That's all right. Okay. It'll be okay. So, go.
Hornsby.
Hornsby. Weird.
Hornsby houses.
Ooh.
We do Chatswood after that as well.
I think I got out of it. Where's the app? Mac, where's the app? Sorry, that is Samsung Rookie. I am RP data. I got it. Thank you, Mac. Okay, Hornsby. Wouldn't life be easy if everyone used Apple?
Yeah, I've been mucking around with a Samsung. They're not bad. Not bad at all.
Hornsby, wow. Okay, Hornsby houses 73% and units 57%. 200, a lot of units. Wow. That was really low, their starting point 10 years ago, 400K. Okay, very nice.
Okay,
so even...
Yeah. 10 years. That's the 10 years trend of Hornsby. For houses, it's gone up 75%. That's similar to DY units. So again, you bought a house for $1 million in Hornsby. You're sitting on
1.7. Ramwick.
1.7. Whoa.
Miles giving us Ramwick. You know what? It sort of surprised me. Some of the areas you probably thought would have done better haven't. So even where it's okay. Here's Hornsby. Ramwick. Sorry. Houses 65%, units 68%.
Not bad. Okay, let's pick it. Let's pick one of the suburbs.
101 house sales and units. How many? 250. What was DY?
What's most? 75%.
No. How many volume? How many deals?
Units.
For DY.
About 500, 600.
No. Units. Yeah, like you said, 526, huge volume.
Hey, give me Mossman houses.
Ah, Mossman. Okay.
Yeah. So Mossman's probably one of the most affluent suburbs in Australia.
Yep.
I'd love to know how much, if they bought a house 10 years ago, how much, if you put $1 million into it.
56%. 56. So one of the most affluent suburbs and expensive suburbs in town is going up probably the least, 56%.
How is that? Is that a shocker or what? Let's pick another great suburb.
Well, you want Palm Beach. I did Palm Beach.
Palm Beach, Double Bay.
Palm Beach. This will shock you guys. I didn't expect it. Well, I sort of I don't know, I sort of believe it. Well, it's true, but 25%. 25%.
I think that's the worst performing suburb that we've done today.
Yep, let's do 4 clues.
And guys, even Double Bay's got more houses, you know what I mean? Like, that's incredible.
Double Bay. Okay, Miles, give us a couple. Thanks for anyone. Send them through. Okay, Double Bay. Houses, 68%. Not bad.
Not bad.
Point Piper.
I can't believe Mossman, but really that Palm Beach was low. So guys, if you just tuned in, we're doing capital growth in suburbs. We've got the real data, the factual data. The data's been pulled as a median from every sale, every hour, every day, every week, every month, every year, and it's amortized into a percentage median. So we're telling you what suburbs have gone up over 10 years. I don't think there's any service like this out there. So guys, if you've got one, throw a comment in. We'll tell you how it's performed. What do you got?
Point Piper, 41%. I want to try Blacktown. I want to try Blacktown.
Point Piper was the most expensive suburb in Australia, but if you put $1 million into that 10 years ago, it hasn't done that well.
Yeah. What
I'm learning from this trend, and correct me if I'm wrong, is the bread and butter stuff.
95% Blacktown. Jeez.
Wow.
95%.
Wow. Is that units or houses?
Houses. I'm doing houses, 10 years. What's another one? Cherrybrook. Let's give that a crack. Is Cherrybrook new though?
It's a pretty new suburb, maybe harder. Because you've got to watch places like Cherrybrook, because if they
106%.
Okay, just on that, I do have to pull up on that one.
167 sales though, huge.
You've got to watch suburbs where they've bought land and sold houses. That's going to skewer the price. That's going to skewer it straight away. So if you've bought a block of land for 500, spend $1 million on a house, straight away the median's going to be thrown out. So we need Cherrybrook may be a bit of a harder one, because I think, and I'm guessing, that there was a lot of land releases within that 10 years where people have bought houses and sold them.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out on that.
Yeah, because in RP Data's eyes, it's going to look at 10 Smith Street, land sale 500,000, next sale 1.5.
Yeah, that's why Parramatta unit, I don't think we should run that data on units, because Parramatta's built so many brand new units. It's throwing out that whole median. DY is not that bad.
Bella Vista, 104%. Crazy.
Okay, let's pick a golden oldie suburb where there hasn't been much change, where there's a lot of sales.
What about Cromer? That's probably one. Yeah. When's anything happened in Cromer?
Nothing's happened in Cromer. Let's have a look.
83%.
Not bad. So $1 million. If you bought for $1 million 10 years ago, you would be selling for 1.83 today.
Yeah. All right. So
that's free. You lived in it. And give us some suburbs, guys. If you've got any suburbs, I could do this all day long.
Yeah, 65. All right. So I think the point, any more suburbs when they come through, let us know. And stuff. So the point, what we're really trying to get across here is the capital growth is the long game, and that's the powerful, especially if it's your first couple purchases. I know people get not pressured, but people you always see buy out, whoop, and get 7% capital growth and get this rental return. And it sounds good, but 10 years later, when it's only done 20% growth, like the example you gave yesterday, Mark, for some of those outside of Sydney areas, it doesn't really set up you for your future. You're buying in an area which they do have lower rental returns. So the rental yield 3% here. So Seaforth, that's gone up 65%, the rental return 3%. They do have lower returns, but the capital growth is what's going to set you up for your retirement and is what you need to get leverage. Because let's face it, if you bought a property in any one of these suburbs, 5 years later, if you did nothing, you'll be able to buy another property from the growth you've had there. Here's another. What's another one about?
Okay, so yeah, that's a really good lesson there, and I actually so much of a good lesson. I want to repeat it. People are always chasing rent, which we call yield, and they seem to have that in the front of their mind because that's what lines their pockets every single month when they get the rent, when they get the deposit into their account. Okay, so I had the discussion yesterday with a very good friend explaining this. They said, I'm only getting a 2 or 3% return on my residential. I am looking at a commercial for $4.5 million. How good is that? It's double the return. I said, yes, it is double the return on your yield. But how much is it on your total return? He said, what do you mean? I said, what about capital growth? Please consider capital growth. Because if you're getting 4.5% return and it doesn't double in 10 years, you've really screwed yourself.
Your audio just got better than if you did anything different.
Zero.
Okay, that's weird. Okay.
Sorry, guys. All right.
Great lesson there. Great lesson. And these are things that you got to be thinking the bigger picture. No one's telling you this as well when you're looking at property, are they, Mark? They just
You know what? Another one I told my old mate yesterday. I said that's why people chase commercial. Yes. Because commercial has the bigger yield.
Yeah.
The yield can be 2 or 3% better. But guess what I said to him?
What, Mark? What'd you say?
I said, your bank is going to charge you 2% more in interest rate.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? I said, you are getting more rent, but you are paying what you're getting more to your bank.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, you're right. Because banks will charge more on a commercial loan than a residential loan.
Yeah.
1 or 2% more.
And this is what I say to people when they come to me, Mark, and say, I'm looking to buy a commercial property. What should I buy? I'm looking to invest. My first question basically is, do you own residential? If the answer is no, I say, well, let's not look at commercial. Let's look at residential. Because I genuinely believe they need that capital growth in their foundation for a property portfolio. It's almost like and that's just being genuine, knowing I'm going to be in this industry for a long bloody time. I don't need their business now. Obviously, I can sell them something residential, but it almost like if you told someone that your commercial agent told you not to buy commercial, you would think he's bonkers. But it's genuine. We're here to help. We want you to have a correct portfolio, and what we're advising you, what our best clients do and our most savviest. And that's the common underlining thing. Hey, Mark, they've got strong residential, which is the capital growth.
You've got to look at your numbers. You've got to look at your numbers, guys. And he said, yeah, shit, you're right. I said, guess what else? He said, what? I said, commercial, you have to put in twice the deposit.
Yes, and that's why it makes it better. You're putting in, you're actually getting less loan. Commercial works when you're putting minimal loan. Unlike resi, where you leverage the shit out of it. You'd be at 95%. Commercial, exactly what Mark said, your interest rates are higher. So, but you virtually want to have that residential capital growth so you can almost pay for the commercial in cash.
So I'm
only have a 30% loan.
I'm putting double the deposit in to get back the same return.
Yeah.
No, it's bad. To get back, and one more thing I want to mention. Land tax. I said, buddy chum, you are going to pay 1.5% a year of your rent, of your yield to the government for land tax. Be careful what you buy if it's a large land tax holding property, right?
Yes.
Because that's going to be shredding your yield. The interest rates are going to be shredding your yield, and the capital of your money that you put in is going to be shredding your yield. Between those two things, consider that when you're considering residential and commercial. And that's a take.
True. That's a take. All right. Also, we're doing on Saturday. Okay, initiative we've brought in. You're all hearing it here first. Is share and win. We really want to get our content out there. We generally believe we're offering advice and info that people can't get anywhere, and we want more people to see this content. So we're offering every Saturday. We're going to be doing a lucky draw. Whoever's shared the post will go in to win $50 cash each week.
Where's the cash?
Until we decide.
Where's the cash?
Cash.
Where is it?
I don't know. I don't think. Oh wait, I do have cash. $50. Cash.
So,
little incentive.
And this is if this topic's relevant to a friend, family, to your tribe of people on your social media, share it. If you share it, it helps us, helps your buddies. $50 to you.
Yep. One share, one entry. So if you share our Monday one and our Tuesdays, 2 entries.
Hey.
If you've got 3 Facebook pages, your business, your personal, and you share it, there's 3 entries.
Hey.
So there's no rules. The only rule is no rules. No rule. Yeah. Share it. Go into the draw. That's Saturday morning, 7:45. We will be drawing out the name.
Capital growth.
Capital growth. So knowledge and money is power. Power.
Back.
All righty, guys. Thank you. We'll be back. What day is today? Wednesday, I think. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:45 for another topic.
Love you guys. Have a great day.
Thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Michael. Cheers, man.